I actually want to talk about a few things on this video. First of all, I want to talk about Brandon Roy. I didn't get a chance to mention him before. I mean, this is a sad situation, man. What a great basketball player that guy is, man. And what a great person. You're talking about a guy that defied odds. I mean, he came back after surgery. I believe he came back like 8 days after surgery or something like that. But he's always had knee injuries, knee problems in college too. So uh, this guy actually surprised me. One of my best friends is a big Portland Trailblazers fan, and I know a lot about the Blazers because of him. And Brandon Roy, man, I was a big fan of him, and it's just a very tough situation for him, especially how competitive he was and how much he just loves the game, man. And the game, the NBA will definitely be different without Brandon Roy, and he sure will be missed, man. And I want to thank Brandon Roy personally for all the good times he gave me watching him play, man. It was a joy to watch him. What a great competitor, what a great basketball player, and what a great person, man. And you surely will be missed in the NBA. The Miami Heat has picked up Shane Battier and I believe Eddie Curry. I don't know if that's a done deal with Eddie Curry, and I think it is, but that's a good pickup as far as Shane Battier is concerned. Eddie Curry's just a throw-in guy. It's a big body. He's not going to make much of a difference. He's not going to play that many minutes, but they need bodies and they need big bodies. But Shane Battier, oh my goodness, what a pickup by the Miami Heat, especially for the price they got him. You talking about a winner? You know how he was with Duke and how he was in the NBA. And he's a great teammate, great leader, and they need that veteran leadership, man. I'm not saying Dwayne Wade and LeBron are not great leaders, but he's definitely a voice of reason. And Shane Battier has been through all kind of battles, man. You talking about a great three-point shooter, spot up three-point shooter in the corner, a great defender. Actually, me and Chris Smoove were talking about this last night. Shane Battier will take off a lot of pressure from take a lot of pressure off of Dwayne Wade and LeBron James because he can guard twos and threes. And then, he's a great teammate, great team defender, individual defender. Like I said, great three-point shooter. That's an excellent pickup. And then he allows the Miami Heat to do all kind of different rotations as far as their lineups. I mean, they could do all kind of different rotations with Batty in the lineup. So they definitely got stronger. I like that pickup. Now the Chris Paul situation in LA going to the Clippers. And it's funny because I heard a joke where it says, you know how it says NOLA, NOLA, for, short for New Orleans. They're saying that's NOLA stands for no LA, no, no Los Angeles. That's funny. And David Stern does not want Chris Paul to leave New Orleans easy, does he? I mean, did you see what they offered? They what else do you want, David Stern? I don't get it, man. I mean, this deal is better than the first deal with Houston and the LA Lakers, man. And now they want to throw in Eric Bledsoe. I'm like, man, what are they thinking? But at least the Clippers got to pick up Chauncey Billups. I hope Chauncey is happy there. Because Chauncey was saying, man, because Chauncey, he was pissed off, man. I mean, think about this with Chauncey. He was in Detroit, and I'll get back to Chris Paul in a second. Chauncey was with Detroit, won a championship. He was a journeyman even before that, but he finally settled in for a few years and he got a championship and he played great. And then, Joe Dumars and everything else, because Chauncey's a nice guy and he's a leader and he's a veteran, they trade him to trade him for Allen Iverson, which obviously we know how that worked out, to the Denver Nuggets. And Joe Dumars was thinking, well, hey, I'm doing him a favor, even though this is a championship caliber team or championship team. We're going to trade him to the Denver Nuggets and bring him back home. He got the chance to play with Carmelo, Chauncey did, and he got to go back home. So he's thinking, okay, cool, that's good. I'm back home. That's all gravy. And then, he's there for a couple of years, and then turn around and Carmelo Anthony starts, trade rumors start swirling around. And now he's like, okay, and now Chauncey Billups' name is involved with the trade. He's like, damn, what's going on? Then he gets traded to the Knicks. He's like, wow, I'm with the Knicks, man. I don't know if you guys watch Carmelo Anthony's wife show or whatever. They had a talk, Carmelo's wife and Chauncey's wife, and they thought they were mad at each other about the Knicks trade and all that, but I guess they weren't, but whatever. And then, Chauncey's on the Knicks, and then the CBA gets changed, and then all of a sudden they have an amnesty rule where, teams can dump a high salary and get rid of that player and not be responsible for that player's payroll and not get counted against the salary cap. And they dumped him again. You got to be thinking like, if you're Chauncey, like, dang, man, what else I need to do? I'm a veteran. I'm a great player. I'm a leader, and this is how I get treated. I'd be mad if I was him too, man. I really would. So hopefully he's happy with the Clippers. He's going to be able to maybe play with uh, Chris Paul, and he'll definitely be able to play with Blake Griffin. But back to the Chris Paul situation, I think the NBA and David Stern are asking way too much for Chris Paul. Now, I understand Chris Paul is a superstar, and if him and Blake Griffin got together, it would be scary. And I would love to watch that. Boy, you talking about some alley-oops and some fast breaks and some pick and rolls. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be some fun basketball. But, damn, they want it. They want the whole ranch for Chris Paul, man. You talking about Eric Gordon, who's a great player, then Kaman. Then they got the 2012 unprotected first-round draft pick from Minnesota, who what might be the number one, number two, or number three draft in a strong draft. Then they got the other kid. I don't want to mess up his name. He's pretty good too. They want all that for Chris Paul, and then they say, "Well, that's not enough. We want Eric Bledsoe too." That's just too much. But they say that as of now, as I'm recording this, they're saying that the trade talks are back on with the Clippers. So we'll see what happens. All right, now let's talk about Lamar Odom real quick, man. The NBA. I understand it's a business and everything, but it's like Paul Gasol and all those guys are saying. It's more of a business now. It's becoming more of a business than it is a sport. And it's getting ridiculous, man. You talking about Lamar Odom. Yeah, I know he had the reality show and all that stuff, but that wasn't a distraction. Just like Kobe said, he didn't have a bad year. He had one of his best statistical years he's ever had. I know they didn't win the championship and they kind of played bad in the playoffs against the Mavericks, but Lamar Odom to the Mavericks? I mean, I know it's still early and maybe they're going to pull a rabbit out the hat, Mitch Kupchak, but he's going to have some explaining to do, Mitch Kupchak, if Lamar Odom, this trade, doesn't produce a Dwight Howard or Al Jefferson or something. They better get something big out of this. Because just to dump him just for salary reasons and to get a pick, which is a second round pick, for, I guess, which is nothing for the Dallas Mavericks, and then you give him to the team that beat you. I mean, and then on top of that, you don't talk to Kobe Bryant about that, which is ridiculous. And I'm going to get into that in a second. I don't, as of right now in the middle of this, as I see nothing happening, I think it was very stupid unless they somehow get Dwight Howard. If they don't get Dwight Howard or somebody big, man, Mitch Kupchak is going to have a lot of explaining to do, for real. Now, Dwight Howard, now he's all of a sudden, Dwight Howard saying that he wants to stay in Orlando as long as he's part of the talks and he feels like he's involved in who comes into the team. And also they bring some people in that he feels like he can win a championship. Now, I feel him on that and everything else, but, you need to make up your mind, Dwight. 1 minute you want to go to L.A., next minute you want to go to the Nets. Chris Broussard reported that you've been flip-flopping the whole time, and he was right. I mean, every time the TV turns on, it's the Nets, it's the Dallas Mavericks, it's the Lakers. Now he wants to be Orlando. I mean, make up your mind, man. Don't be like LeBron and Carmelo and all these guys and be a distraction to your team, man. Figure out what you want to do. But I definitely feel him on being able to talk to the GM, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Now, I'm going to give you guys my opinion on this, and I want to get your opinion in the comments below. Kobe Bryant is pissed off right now. He's pissed because one of his best friends and one of his best teammates, Lamar Odom, got traded, and he doesn't know why. Now, I don't know if he's not telling the truth or nothing like that, but it doesn't seem like that to me. It seems like he's real pissed off, and I don't blame him. I feel like if you are the star player, if you're the franchise player, I feel like equal opportunity. I feel like everybody should be treated in this, that, and the third. But when it comes to the NBA, this is a players' league, folks. This is a players' league. And when you have the best player on your team not being involved or not being talked to by the GM, the president, and the people that are making the decisions to trade people and let people go and all this, that, and the third, and Kobe Bryant's the one that has to play with these players, I don't think it's right, man. I think the GM, I think Mitch Kupchak should be talking to Kobe Bryant. The same thing with Dwight Howard. I think Dwight Howard should be talked to because Dwight Howard went on record and said, hey, I went to Otis Smith and I told him, I talked to some of the players that want to come here and I told Otis Smith about it. Nothing was done. I think before any trades are made, I think you should be able to talk to the superstar franchise player to make them happy. Because if you don't want them to leave and you want them to make them happy, try to bring in as many players as they want. Now, I'm not saying they have the final decision, but at least involve them in it. Because at the end of the day, if you want to win championships, you want to, have good continuity and your superstar player to be happy, then make him happy by getting him involved. But like I said, it is your final decision and the ownership, and you have a job to do. But I think you should be able to talk. I think you should give that superstar player enough respect to say, hey, bring him in the office and talk to him and let him know what's going on. And for Kobe Bryant to be blindsided like that with this Lamar Odom trade, I just don't think that's right. I really don't think that Lamar Odom should have been traded or even thought about being traded before you talk to Kobe Bryant. That really pisses me off. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. Do you think that any owner, GM, or vice president or president of basketball operations should talk to their franchise player in making basketball decisions, trades, free agents, draft picks, or whatever? Let me know your thoughts on that. And if I missed anything or if there is anything else you want me to talk about, let me know, guys, okay? Thanks. Take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you soon. And don't forget, if you can believe it, you can do it. Thanks for watching. You guys know I appreciate it. And remember, folks, always, always treat people how you want to be treated, and everything will be okay. This is NBA Jerry, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.